Welcome to the C.L.I.M.B. This is a show dedicated to helping singers, songwriters, and indie artists like you create leverage in the music business. This podcast exists because we want you to win, and leverage is what you're going to need to make it happen. If you're a songwriter, if you're an artist, you're going to need proof, social proof, that there's actually something going on. It's got to be more than just your song. It's got to be more than just your art. That's going to turn people's heads and make them get on board on your train. And what is leverage? It's a strategic advantage. It's the power to act effectively. And that's exactly why we called it the C.L.I.M.B, C.L.I.M.B, creating leverage in the music business. Genius. That was my co-host and good friend, Mr. Brent Baxter, who came up with that. Why? Because Brent is an award-winning hit songwriter with cuts by Alan Jackson, Randy Travis, Lady Antebellum, Joe Nichols, and more. And what I love about Brent, he helps songwriters like you turn pro by revealing how you write like a pro, do business like a pro, and just about every week he's got some way he's cooked up to get you in touch with the pro. He connects you with the pros. You can't beat that. You can find Brent really easily at songwritingpro.com. Once again, that's songwritingpro.com.
And I would like to introduce you to my co-host, Johnny Dwinell. Johnny owns Daredevil Production. They help you find your sound, and they help you grow your audience so you can become the artist that everybody loves, and so you can get paid. Daredevil has worked with multi-platinum artists like Colin Ray, Tracy Lawrence, Ty Herndon, and Andy Griggs, just to name a couple. And you can find Johnny at daredevilproduction.com. That's production, singular, no S, and there is no S because there is no other Johnny D.
What's happening, brother?
Man, I'm good. Life is good. Life is busy. Life is crazy. But we're not going to talk about it because it's not a Brent Life podcast. This is a songwriter and singer-songwriter and indie artist podcast.
That's right. So what are you going to enrich us with today?
Well, today, there's a lot of people wondering. I used to wonder about this. It used to drive me crazy just thinking back home in Arkansas. Like, what really happens in a music publisher meeting?
We can pull back the curtain on that.
I'm going to pull back the curtain on that. Like, how many songs does a publisher want to hear? Do they try to make you rich and famous? Do they try to make you quit songwriting? Like, what goes on at a songwriter meeting with a music publisher? And the answer is a little complicated. But we're going to talk about it.
Before we get to that, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, if you haven't done it already, please join the C.L.I.M.B community on Facebook. Just search for it. C.L.I.M.B community asked to be let in. We let everybody in. If you're obnoxious, we'll roadhouse you right the heck back out the front doors. Mm-hmm. And subscribe.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. Is that this way every Tuesday, the brand new episode goes right into your phone, and every Friday you get the mini-sodes, and you don't have to worry about it. No complications. It's very easy. Please share it. If you like this stuff, then tell everybody about it. Let them know. Mm. Help us spread the gospel. If it's helping you, it might help somebody else in your band or another artist. And then finally, leave a rating and review. Take a couple seconds to do that because it makes us look legit. We did the episode before about social proof. This is social proof that other people like it. Give us a 5-star rating and put a little blurb in there. And actually we got a new review.
Let's share it.
Let's do that. This is from it's from Susan Giaccona, singer-songwriter.
Hello, Susan.
And this is one of the best podcasts ever. With every show, there is so much great practical information about all aspects of the music business. There are several episodes that I've listened to more than once because they're packed with so much great info. So thank you for that, Susan.
Thank you, Susan, for the tasty 5-star. And you know what, Susan? She's a member of, I'm sure she's in the C.L.I.M.B community. I know she's on Songwriting Pro.
I've cut a song for Susan.
Susan ain't no slouch. She's having some success.
Yeah.
I know she's, had some cuts down in Texas. She
just did a big video.
You see
that thing where she's on the freaking battleship or something? Yeah.
Her song is representing something cool. And so, this isn't like she is on the climb and she's still listening, still getting value from this. So this is not just for you're like, I'm brand new and I don't know what I'm doing. It's a lot of value for you, but even as you get on up in the climb,
you're not going to stop learning.
Never stop learning. So thanks, Susan. We appreciate it, and congrats on the good stuff you've had going on lately.
Yeah, girl. Proud of you. All right. So let's talk about
publisher meetings.
What happens in a publisher meeting?
Yes, let's. Okay. So, it can be a real mystery what happens in a meeting with a music publisher. So it's like, so I mentioned being back in Arkansas. So that's where I'm from. And I just started learning back about if you hadn't picked up on it yet, if my voice didn't make you think I was from New York City. You might have picked up I'm from the South.
City-fied.
Right.
New
So,
York boys.
anyway, I was just starting to learn about publishing. I was wondering if I would ever get a publisher meeting, but knowing that I wanted to write, hits. And if I was like, what happens if I get a meeting? What would it be like? Like, would I need to wear like a suit and like ride an elevator up to some corner office? Would I hand him or her like a bunch of songs and he'd just skip from one song to the next after 10 seconds? Would he or she expect me to play live, which is going to be a problem for a guy like me? Do I need to bring a guitar player and a singer? It's okay just to bring it like, at the time, either a cassette tape or a CD or whatever the medium was. What am I supposed to do here? Yeah. I don't, if I'm the dog that catches a car, am I just going to get run over? I don't know what's going to happen. So, thankfully, I've had the pleasure and sometimes the pain of many publisher meetings over my 16 plus years of living in Nashville. And while there's a lot of variation in there are a few things I've found, and I just want to share those with you climbers out there, because maybe you've had a publisher meeting, but you're like, are they all like this? And just assuming they're all going to be the same can get you in a fix. But also, if you haven't had any and you're scared to reach out because not sure if you're the dog that wants to catch the car, what that's going to be. And if you maybe have one coming up, I just wanted to kind of demystify some of that and help you out so your meetings can be a success.
Awesome. All right.
I'm in the service business, Johnny.
Service I'm business. Here to help.
All right. So, the first thing you need to do is, and granted, my experiences are all in Nashville. It's mostly country, not all, but it's like country or like Christian music publishers. So I can't claim to, haven't been in publisher, rock, pop, R&B, rap, publisher meetings. So just my disclaimer there, your mileage may vary, but at least for the stuff I've been in, first thing, you can forget the business suits.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the music business. And most of us are there because we don't want a real job. So
we hate suits, including the publishers.
Yeah, including the publishers. We don't want to dress like we have to dress a certain way, right?
No monkey suits.
Exactly, unless that's their style, in which case rock on. But if they're any good to you, they know most people aren't. They don't have the expectation of, I'm the rider in off the street, I'm going to wear a suit. So you want to be presentable, right?
Yeah.
But at least in Nashville, it is a casual dressed business.
Oh, okay? I'm sure there's no suits in rock and roll either.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think there's any suits in R&B.
Like all leather and it's like just cool.
Yeah.
Just because this is how
I feel like Joe Perry
leather
suit. That's different.
That's different
with a tie.
Yeah, but he doesn't expect you to have one on.
That's
right. So the publisher might be dressed in anything from like shorts and flip flops to business casual. Like some folks, it seems like John Ozier dresses up a little bit more than the average bear, like over at Olay. Mm-hmm. He didn't expect you to, though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because
he deals with writers.
He deals with writers. He knows the deal.
He's happy if you're sober when you come to the door.
Just bring a song. Just don't forget your guitar. So, but as for you, you're not there interviewing to be like the VP of accounting.
Yeah.
You're there as a creative. So be yourself, but take a shower first. Is basically the rule.
Just brush your teeth.
Because you want to be creative, but don't get so creative with your hygiene.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about the business suits. I mean, I'm jeans and boots and a button up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just that way it's appropriate for the genre. It's like, all right, because honestly, if you show up in a suit and a tie, either it's okay if you're like, hey man, just I'm on my lunch break. Cool. That's awesome. That's fine. But if you're like, I dressed up just for this meeting, they kind of know this must be your first meeting. And so therefore it lowers their expectation level of how good you like that. Probably are. I mean, a lot of writers have day jobs. So if that's what you got, that's fine, man. We get it. We understand. That's the reality. You're trying to break into business. That's why we don't already know who you are and you want a meeting at this publishing company. That's fine. But if you're just like, I'm in from Arkansas and I wore my best suit, then it just shows me, okay, you don't know the business yet.
Yeah.
Which is okay. But
now I know you don't know the business.
Now I know you don't know the business.
So spin it. If you got to come from your job and you're wearing a suit at your job, just be like, man, this is what I got to wear at my job. So
thanks for making me on my lunch break too.
Yeah.
That kind of, okay, fine. Better that than trying to fake it. So that's the first thing. Just forget the business suit. You don't have to worry about getting all dressed up. But yes, be presentable, take a shower, eat a breath mint. Something you want them, You want them to not want to run you out and regret the fact that you got in the door. The other thing is, some publishers are more chatty than others. There's just variation, right? So on a first meeting, some publishers will want to dive like right into your music. I don't really care about chatting with you until I hear your music. Then I might want to get to know you, all right?
Right.
So I'm guessing this kind of helps them figure out quickly if they want to get to know you more. Like if your music isn't any good, then it doesn't really matter how charming you are,
right?
You know. But if your music's awesome, then I want to get to know you more. You know?
Right.
So some publishers may be more like that. Other publishers may like to chat quite a bit at first. Like they want to know your story, where you're from, who you're writing with, how you got to Nashville, blah, blah, blah. They may be trying to see if they like you as a person before they like your songs, because they may be like, okay, he's a jerk, so I don't really care how good this song is.
Yeah, I don't want to do business with him.
I don't really want to do business with this guy.
Another point made, not just about the song. People.
Not just about the song, right. Yeah, but if you're awesome and you're great to work with, they're like, I hope the song's good.
Yeah.
You know, so your mileage is going to vary. It depends on, some publishers may just want to chat with you, not really listen to anything. They just maybe want to, because like we mentioned a couple episodes ago, like some publishers aren't just looking for a hit song, they're looking for a hit songwriter.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot more than just, I was able to pump out this one song.
I mean, I feel like I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you because you're the expert.
Why you should ask questions like that.
That's right. The goal of like your first publisher meeting, really, you should, like, don't go in with the expectation of, I hope they take my song, and it's a win if they take it and it's a loss if they don't. You're just trying to make the relationship.
Yeah.
Like if they say, man, to like the point that you just referenced, where it was a conversation we had with Chris Oglesby, where he's like, man, we're looking for the hit songwriter. Like if I hear some stuff in there, maybe the song isn't ever going to work, but
there's something in there.
If there's something in there, if there's a writer in there, then I'm going to want to know that person, right. And that's what you're.
Yeah. I mean, the goal of the first meeting is to get the second meeting.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Anything else is gravy.
Yeah.
You just want to ping their memory a little bit, start building that relationship. Yep. Because if you're smart, you know it's also about relationships. Mm-hmm. And if you're in it for the long haul, you want to check them out too.
Yep.
I mean, odds are, even if they freaking love your stuff, they're probably not going to do backflips and lock the door until you sign with them. Because even your songs might be great, but you're poison, that's bad business.
Yeah.
So even if the stuff is great, now they'll be like, come back next week. Come back to, they'll want you back sooner so they can get the ball rolling. But a smart publisher, even if it's something really good, they want to know how deep that well is. Let's hear some more stuff. Let's hear this is just you got in a room with a couple good people and got lucky because you were in the room where you got stuff. Let's dig more.
Which could be the difference between them thinking in their head, like, are we going to do like a single song deal, or am I going to sign this writer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're not going to know that in one meeting.
That's right.
They may know in the first meeting if they want the second meeting.
Yep.
That's the goal, right? It's a long sales cycle. If you think about it that way. So this is such a relationship business. So just kind of go with the flow. Let the publisher take lead on how chatty that you're going to be. Like if they're trying to hit play, shut up. Let them hit play. If they just want to chat, don't like reach over their desk and hit play. Yeah. Just let them lead. It's their meeting.
Let the game come to you.
Let the game take what the defense gives you, baby. Yeah. Just, if they're giving you a short out routes, take that. If they're giving up the deep ball, go deep.
Yep.
Run for it.
Run like you stole something.
Exactly. And that's really important, just because it's so much about the personal relationship too.
Yeah.
We'll get to this on the next one. But let it come to you, because it's so much a personal business. So far, like, be presentable. You don't need to overdress and show you don't know the business. And then talk as much as what you feel like is appropriate. Kind of meet them where they are. Yeah. Some are going to talk a lot. Some won't. Don't take it personally. They just have different styles. Yep. It doesn't mean it was great. Doesn't mean it was awful. Some may be talking to you more because they figure out mathematically most songs are terrible. So they want to do all the chit-chat, nice stuff out of the way first, because they may not have anything nice to say after that.
There you go. True.
You just don't know what's in their head. They're all different, right? So, third thing, you might play one song, or you might play several. So, kind of be prepared, but it varies. So, each meeting will most likely get to the music at some point. So, the publisher will ask, hey, okay, you bring any songs, or what'd you bring me? So, even if you plan on playing your songs live, it's best to bring like a CD or some sort of links or something, some way of leaving your songs with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe like, here, let me email you some links. Because a lot of publishers, some don't even have CD players anymore.
Yeah.
I did a play for publisher event. She's like, I don't have a CD player. I'm like,
I don't have one.
Huh. Okay. You know, so it's more like working off links because they want their email blown up with MP3 files or WAV files or whatever.
Yeah.
So that changes over time. But be prepared on some way to leave your music with them.
Yeah.
And these days, it's less and less likely to be a CD even. So definitely not a cassette tape, unless you just make a joke. That may be kind of funny. Way to get memorized. Here's my cassette.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. No, here's a link.
But you can keep that.
You can keep that if you want. It'd be kind of funny. Dang it. Don't do that, because I'm going to do that next time I meet with a publisher.
Don't take mine.
Dang it. Edit that out, Johnny. You got to play that off right. But anyways, so most publishers will not listen through the whole song. Okay, so don't get mad about that. They'll get the gist of it, figure out what they think about it. Some will hold their thoughts until they've listened to all the songs they want to hear. Like, you know, I'm going to listen to parts of 3 songs, 4 songs, 2 songs, 1 song, and then I'll tell you what I think. Some will give it, you know, right.
You get the blow by blow.
You get the blow by blow as they're listening. Others will discuss each song, one at a time, giving their thoughts and possibly offering some songwriting advice. Others will give you the 30,000-foot view after they've listened to a couple of bits and pieces here and there. They're just different. Others will simply say something brief and non-committal, like "cool," as they flip from one song to the next. Cool, yeah, cool. Next one.
Yep.
You know, rarely will they stare you down as they listen to your babies.
Right.
They're not going to sit, and stare you in the eye, because that's uncomfortable for them.
Can you imagine what kind of personality it would take to just
Wow,
do
that would just be weird. Never run into that. They might turn to the side, kind of staring out a window or off into space as they listen, so they won't be staring at you. Or they'll look down at the lyric sheet that you wisely brought. That way they have the option of using it, whether or not they choose to. Mm-hmm. It's wise to bring it. That way, if they want it, you got it. If they don't want it, at least they know that you thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing. So these are not cookie cutter meetings. They're not all the same. You just got to be prepared to improv a little bit, not take it personal, not expect, oh my gosh, they hated my song because they didn't listen to every bit of it.
Yeah.
Or that's so rude. I spent this much money and drove in from Arizona, and and now they listen to a verse and a chorus. Well, that's how it is. It's nothing personal because they don't know you.
Called the A&R Shuffle.
It can't be personal. They don't know you. Right?
Yeah.
So, and the last thing is, and most important, Johnny, what about the dream crushing?
The dream crushing.
We haven't covered the dream crushing yet. All right. I have yet to meet a publisher who is particularly interested in crushing your dream. So even if they have like zero interest in your songwriting, they'll usually be kind.
Yeah.
It is a people business. If they're successful, it's because they're people. They're good at people. They're good at relationships. So they're probably going to be kind.
That's a good point.
So some are more blunt than others. True. But just because your feelings get hurt doesn't mean they're telling you to catch the next Uber to the airport. It's nothing personal.
Yeah.
So some will try to find something good to say about your songwriting, to be kind or to be encouraging. Now, if you really knock their socks off, though, you'll probably know about it. They'll get excited, they'll want to listen to more, and they'll want to talk more. But most people, they're not trying to crush your dreams. Some may want to give you a little tough love to see how you respond.
Could be a test.
Could be a little bit of a test. Like, be a little blunt. If he cracks, if he's like, oh, okay, I'll change that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want somebody with something to say. Or if I'm a little blunt and you get mad at me, okay, good. Even if I think there's even if I think there's really good writing in there, I may push you on a point just to see how you respond because I think there's something here.
Yeah.
But if you respond like a jerk, ain't that much here.
Yeah.
Bye, because I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
So you don't know. So you just want to be gracious about it. So that's the deal. Sometimes, they're not about crushing your dreams. We don't get joy from that kind of stuff. I have a coaching and I don't love your song. It's not about like I get my jollies from. They want to like your song because otherwise it's kind of wasting their time.
Yep.
They find hit songwriters and hit songs keep the lights on. They want
you to be a hit songwriter.
They want you to be a hit songwriter because then you're in their office. Sweet, I found the treasure map. That's what they want.
Yep. Here's a little diamond in the rough. Somebody just
it's not about like
the island.
Yes, I can't wait to send these people home.
Yes,
no.
They're not Mr. Burns.
Yeah, no, they
not so groovy now, is it, Simpson? You suck.
Yes,
release the hounds.
Right, they're not that way. They love songwriters. They work with them all the day. A lot of them are songwriters or were in a previous life, kind of thing. You know, so they want you to do well. They want you to win. Some of you, they may go, hey, he's not going to win. But there's no reason to be rude about it, or I'm going to be a little blunt, and, so you know. So, and the last thing to cover really is the closed door or the open door. At the end of the meeting, the publisher will probably, simply thank you for stopping by, wish you well as they usher you out of the office. All right. So if that's the case, it probably means your music wasn't ready to solve any of their current problems. Just remember, we're in the service business. We're in the problem-solving business. We want to bring them songs that solve their problems. What's their problem? I need to be able to meet payroll. Yeah. So I need songs that are going to generate money. Songs and songwriters that are going to generate income. If you're not that song or songwriter, and I don't feel like you can be that in the mid to near term, whatever, you're not solving my problem.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, if you are, then they're interested in it. So what that probably means is they're just polite, they usher you out, then you probably aren't solving any of their problems as far as they can tell. So, but don't let this response get you too low. You're not a failure, but you still have work ahead of you.
Yep.
Now, however, the publisher may ask you to send them more stuff, stay in touch, or to come back in a few weeks. Now, if they say this, you should do it. Don't just assume they're being nice but disingenuous, because if they're a pro and they made an offer, you should take them up on it.
Yep.
Like, don't drop the ball by disappeared after one meeting. It's going, they were just being nice. They don't really mean that. I mean, we had a Play for Publisher event, and the publisher, was talking to the writer. Like, the writer ended up having 2 songs in there. They were both solid songs, which is why they were in there. They're good songs. And they were chatting, over our video conference. Mm-hmm. And he's like, where do you live? He's like, I'm here in town. He's like, man, come on by the office sometime. And writer's like, sure. And later, the writer emailed me. He's like, hey, do you think he meant that? Do you think I should go and buy it? I was like, yeah, he meant it. I say, if you don't go
he
by there.
He publicly testified in front of 9 other people or 10 other people, including
you should come by.
Yeah.
I was like, if you don't go by, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kick you in the guitar.
Yeah.
Because like publishers know you don't make disingenuous offers like that, because what you're doing is you're raising your hand going, I would like more problems. Yeah. You can't solve my problem. Please come bug me about it now. Yeah. They've learned, don't say that stuff if they don't mean it. Because they're, so they're not going to be disingenuous. If they say it, it's legit. You have every right to take them up on that and go, hey, we were at the Play for Publisher, or we met at the party, or whatever it was. And, or we had a meeting, 2 weeks ago and you asked me to drop back by. So
that's so cool, man. I'm just thinking about the wealth of possibilities that could happen from that invite, right? Like maybe he's not going to get a publishing deal. Maybe it's like, you know what, man, I got a couple friends that maybe you could write with.
Yeah, it might be a co-write thing.
Since you're in town, and you're like, what? I just got in the door.
Yeah, exactly. It might be,
and they're going to be published writers, and so now you're getting. Yeah. Now they're going to be pitched. They're going to see the light of day.
Any sort of thing. It might just be like, hey, he came by and we chatted and he kind of showed me around the office, and that was the end of it. But you know what? That means you've gotten your face in front of him twice. Mm-hmm. One time he heard songs that he liked and he invited you. Now he just got to hang with you as a person, which is valuable.
Maybe grab some lunch or something like that. Yeah.
And now maybe you run into him at an industry event or her at an industry event, and you're like, hey, how's it going? So and so, and they've seen you a couple times now. You've chatted, and now you're starting.
By the way, social proof again, right? We talked about that in the last episode. There's other publishers that are there, maybe at this
maybe
at this
event, at some event or something,
and they see you talking to like, who's that guy?
Yeah, I don't know that person.
Yeah, why don't I know him? Is he new in town? Like, what's going on? Believe me, that happens. Like,
yeah, there is that. I mean, take them up on it if they're offering. I mean, because we all have our stories in our heads, right? Though they're just being nice. Some of us are just prepared to fail and we're just looking for the proof that we're a failure. And so even if they're like, oh my gosh, this is great, call me next week. You're like, they don't mean it.
Yeah.
No, they mean it. But at the same time, if they're like, yeah, that song's cool, okay. Yeah, all right, good luck with everything. They love me. It's like, don't get too high, don't get too low. Whatever the response is, keep trucking, keep riding. You got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yep.
Even if they invite you back. You got a lot of work ahead of you. You haven't made it yet.
Yep.
So, as you can see, not every publisher meeting is exactly alike. You know, they all want to hear wonderful songs. They all want you to be the answer to their prayers. But no matter what happens in that meeting, you got to keep working. You got to keep writing. And that's the bottom line. Is no matter what happens, you got to keep going. I mean, they want you to win with them. They love writers. That's why they're in the business.
Yep.
You know,
and they want you to. You know what? They want you to be coachable. They want you to learn. They want to see. They want to see somebody with like some potential come in. That when you're around other songwriters, you're going to pick up that, you're going to improve, and you're going to turn into a major asset for them. That's what they want, you know. But that everything I just described means you still got to work. You still got to improve, right?
You got to work. You got to improve. Yeah.
You got to find out where the bar is, and when you find out it's over your head, which it almost always is.
Yeah.
Then
because the bar's always moving.
Yeah.
So even if you bob above the bar,
climb up higher.
Exactly. Hey, that sounds like
I got an idea.
Yeah. And you know, guys, like you may be listening right now, going, "Well, that's great. How do I get to a publisher?" Mm-hmm. Okay, now I kind of know what may go on, but I still don't know how to get to one. I'm here to provide you and connect you with the pros, right? So I'm going to give you an opportunity. If you've been listening for any time, you know what's coming. The Play for a Publisher event is coming up.
Time for another one already.
Time for another one. I know, man. Yeah. Time flies. But if you're ready to meet with a publisher, our next Play for event is coming up in June. It's an online event. You can join us from anywhere in the world. We've had people join us from Scotland, from right here in Nashville, from Canada, from all over the place. You know, Alabama. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you got internet. So in other words, if you can listen to this podcast, you can
participate.
You can participate. So what happened, you know, and even if you aren't quite ready. So basically what happens is we have a certain amount of songs that we accept as submissions because I can't listen to everything, but I listen to everything, right? So we cap it. You send your song, you pay for a submission spot, you send your song in, I listen. I find the 10 I think are most likely to impress in a good way our publisher guest and get you on their radar. We whittle it down to 10, the 10 of us and the publisher guest, myself. We all gather up on an online video conference, so it's face-to-face, or you can phone in if you want to, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then we listen to the songs, you get feedback, get to interact with the publisher, ask them a follow-up question or two, and you're face-to-face. Mm-hmm. And I make sure they listen like through the bridge, you know, and make sure they listen a bunch of it, which is nice too. And then you get an opportunity for like the one guy that was like, he was like, yeah, man, you know, come by, just drop by the office sometime. I had another one where afterwards a publisher, and he really dug the song. He's like, man, I think I got somewhere I could go with that. I think I have a pitch idea for that. Like I could go. So, you know, stuff is happening. And it's interesting. Some of the writers they're like, oh, hey, so-and-so. They already know the writer. And it's another at-bat. It's not the first, you know, impression, but it's another one where they get I saw you today. You didn't tell me you were doing this tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know. And
I want to surprise you.
It's another at-bat, you know. It's another at-bat.
Right.
Or it's a first one. Like, who are you? Where are you from? This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and even if you aren't quite ready to step into the meeting, there's still a way to win big from this. Everyone who purchases a song submission spot, and they're cheap, will get a chance to watch the video replay. So say if you're not in the top 10, you can still watch the replay.
And see where the bar is.
Watch the whole event. It's like an hour and a half, so you can listen to the songs that made it and get an idea of kind of where the bar's set. And then you get to listen to the publisher's feedback on it, go, here's what I liked, here's what I didn't like, and go, wow, I thought that song was awesome, and they just tore it up. They samurai'd it, or whatever. Or I didn't get it, but this is what they said they loved about it. And so that's so educational and will prep you for your own personal meeting, because what it is a series of small little publisher meetings that you get to be a fly on the wall. And some people do it. They're like, I don't have a song ready. I'm purchasing a submission spot just so I can watch the replay.
Yeah. So worth it.
It's so worth it. Yeah. Because I get stuff out of it. Because it's publishers that I'm not meeting with every day. So I get another little slice of the pie for someone saying, oh, this is what publishers are, you know, producers are saying they
here's
like.
What the pulse is.
Here's what the pulse is, you know,
today.
You're getting a second opinion from another physician on what the pulse is. And so I get stuff out of it. And if I do, I know you will. You know, if you're out wherever, Sarasota or Des Moines.
Des Moines.
So and if your song is ready, I can get it to someone who knows what to do with it. Someone who's getting cuts. And that's not too shabby either.
Nope.
So if you want to find out more about that, and our guest is Tim Hunzy from Parallel Music. He's been our guest before. He's awesome. We'll see if we get him on the podcast here soon. But great publisher. He's been around. He knows what he's doing. He's respected. He has hit writers and hit songs under his belt. And so, like I said, if you got the song, he knows what to do with it. But that's coming up. We're only taking songs through the end of this month. Okay. So send it in. If you want to get all the details, just go to giftfrombrent.com, download the free ebook. Gives you all the, not only do you get a free ebook, but then I'll be able to send you, emails letting you know about all the details and stuff, so you can sign up for that.
Cool. All right. Hey, listen, you can't beat that, man. Get you in front of the pros, connect you to the pros, get your shot, get your at bat. You're either going to win or you're going to learn. And
exactly.
You continue to improve, Yeah,
there's no way to lose. You either win or you learn.
It's a no-brainer. So that brings us to the end of another killer C.L.I.M.B episode. If you haven't joined the C.L.I.M.B community, please do so. Just go to Facebook and ask to be let in. We'll let you in. We'll roadhouse you if you're obnoxious. Share it if you like this information. If you're binge listening to these, if you're digging like Susan Giancona and you're listening to multiple episodes multiple times, somebody that you could turn this on to. Let them know about it, man. Make you cool, and we'll read your. We'll rate and review. If you leave a rating and review, we'll leave that on the air.
All right.
And make you famous. And subscribe, because all that stuff will magically go into your phone and your podcast player every Tuesday and every Friday for the mini-sodes. So make sure you do that. But listen, guys, this podcast exists because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.